All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and it's your boy Dave coming back at you live. It is a happy Thursday. Hope you guys had a fantastic night of sleep, and here we are for another brand new trading day. So let's get started with our market news, and we'll jump into our watch list. We got stock futures were higher Thursday morning after a winning day for all three major indexes on Wednesday on the back of encouraging U.S. inflation data. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 0.61% during regular trading, while the S&P 500 ticked 0.38% higher, and the Nasdaq Composite edged up by 0.03%. A readout from the Labor Department Wednesday showed the annual inflation rate slowed to 2.9% in July, the lowest year-over-year price gain since 2021. The jump in the consumer price index was in line with that what Wall Street economists had expected, according to Dow Jones Industrial estimates, and is likely to keep a September interest rate cut by the Federal Reserve on the table. So we have that news, and then we got Sing here as our number one gainer. Stock is trading at 433. We have a second round trade here coming on up at this 440 candle break line. So for those that are new, make sure you guys understand before coming in here, following blindly, and then just seeing some numbers and seeing that, you know, it's a good place to enter. That's not how it works. You have to understand read the comments. Okay, it says candle break. You have to understand the Heikin-Ashi difference between the regular candlesticks. So I don't use regular candlesticks. I use Heikin-Ashi. Make sure you guys are watching down the charts and understand what is the difference between candle and wicks. Just because the price moves above that entry candle break line doesn't mean it's a go. You have to wait for the confirmation. We go through this every single day, so make sure you guys tune in every single day when I go through these examples. All right, so right now let's just talk about Sing and go down through the watch list. This thing is a low float. Okay, it's about 10 million float. SCING, USA Biotech Company. Actually, this is under 1 million flow. I just double checked. It's under 1 million flow. So trade idea shows 10 million, but on FinViz, I'm going to stick with FinViz. It's under 1 million flow. So super low float, meaning it's going to be very volatile. It's going to be easily able to move on up. Also means that it can also move down when it's time for a downtrend. They came out with a press release, issued a European patent for lead asset CTX-1301 for the treatment of ADHD. Okay, so we have that PR headline, low float. I mean, you know, if you look at the daily chart, stock has a lot of room to run. We had seen this spark up above $5 earlier, and we hit a high as 558 so far. So, you know, it's going to be really fun again later when we see that $5 breakout leading to that nice dollar run. Here, unfortunately, was a little bit too extended off from our beautiful entry at 275. And so a lot of profit takers there. And so right now we're looking for round number 2 at that 440 candle break, meaning that full body Heikin-Ashi candlesticks needs to start closing above. Now, if you're not sure, there's nothing wrong with start shipping some shares in. However, when it looks like, you know, the support level, and I hope you guys all have your support levels before going in. Every trade you go in, you need to know how much risk you're willing to take, right? Instead of just looking at the reward. So let me remind everybody in here, before taking any single trade, you need to know what it is with your risk level and as well as your reward level, right? A lot of people just look at the reward and then they forget about the risk, how much they're willing to risk, and then they get nervous because they see the red, the P&L is going red, and then they start freaking out, and then they start selling before the support even tested. So just keep that in mind before we market opens up in 8 minutes here. But that's that. SPRC, let's get down to the next stock on the watch list. Top second gainer, currently trading at 54 cents a share. If you zoom out here on SPRC, we got a nice breakout of 73 and hit all the way up to this price at 84. So another great trade of the day. But it didn't work out towards the end because, you know, I really wanted to see if it's going to bounce off the 73. And fortunately, the 73 just could not hold. You know, I wanted to use a previous area here to see if it's going to go for round number 2, and it didn't. So it's going all the way down now here to 54 cents. So what does that mean? Well, you could look for a potential reversal play at market open. Right now, stock's still up 68%, but that is a significant pullback after hitting the high here at the 84. We got 30-cent discount now to 54. So, yeah, just watch the reversal when it starts riding back the 10 EMA. Right now, it's riding down below the 10 EMA. So the moment the candlesticks start riding 10 EMA is when you start looking for that higher lows and higher highs, and then start moving up towards what? That VWAP level. All right, looking into this company, SPRC, we have played this in the past. This is another low flow stock at 2.4 million in flow. This is a Israel biotech company. Anything that is Israel company or a Chinese companies, they are going to be what? Very pumpy dumpy. So enjoy the ride while it lasts, but expect when it's time to crack, these guys are going to dump hard on these companies. So just keep that in mind. Most of you know this, but just in case we have a couple new members, I want you guys to keep that in mind. All right. Other than that, there is no new news this morning. We have one after hours yesterday. They updated regarding the status of the Automax merger, and that's about it. All right. Moving forward here, we got the SPCB next, another micro penny stock. If you haven't noticed this week, folks, we have been seeing more micro pennies running up pretty nicely. So something you should have noticed early on. But anyways, 28 cent here. I have a line there. And then after that, you got a 31 cent. Remember, it's a lower price stock, so every penny is going to be worth a lot more. So otherwise, you know, really below this 28 cent line, I'm not that interested. But if SPCB ever starts getting that momentum and getting back above that VWAP, then that's going to be around the 28 mark, I say, and look for that potential nice spike up towards that 31, 34. I would actually, I have a line up to 34. But you know, you can use the current. I think this line is supposed to be at the yeah, we already have that line. I'm going to delete the 31. I have a line of 34 on my chart, so I'm going to move it up. Yeah, you can see here the reason why is because that 200 right there is around that daily chart. So that's going to be a big target level later if it does get up there. All right. Other than that, that's about it with this guy. Let's move forward here with the next stock. Actually, I think I got confused with, I didn't get to talk about this company, Roll Soft. So this is, you know, another Israel industrial company. It's interesting how they have both SPRC, SPC. They sound similar, both Israel names. This one is a Israel Security Protection Service company at 31 million flow, so it's not the lowest float. Mid-float stock. They just had their record profit with 183% QOQ net income growth and EPS of 6 cents for the Q2 2024. So they have that earnings Q2 snapshot there. Let's move forward. You got AISP here next. This one is currently a top 6 gainer. There was a play for 265 break, but it only got a wick into 268. So you have to really make sure that you're not just chasing into that mark. You have to wait for that beautiful candle break line. So did I say 265? I think I meant to say 365. So 365 was the big line there. Well, not a big line there, but I was looking for a solid candle break. You see how this is a wick right there? You have to wait for that confirmation. Now, especially with this one, starts spiking up into that big resistance line. You have to give it time before it starts, you know, forming that candle. So don't rush into anything. Wait for that green light, and then you can go for it. Right now, obviously, that 365 is not going to be happening anytime soon. It's all the way down to 317 right now. So it's failing to get back above VWAP. I have a line at 325. This will be my my candle break line there. But look at the candlesticks right now. It's malnourished looking. It needs more meat on the bone on this stock, meaning volume needs to show up. So, you know, look for that lower high, lower high, lower high trend here to break out, meaning that's going to be the reversal, and then start getting that 325 plus the VWAP roll. That's going to be around the same level there. All right. But, you know, looking into this company real quick, if you are watching for a new entry, like I said, at this point, I'm just going to wait for the 325 break, or you can wait until it comes all the way down to the 500 EMA. USA software company. This is a 10 million flow, and they did just come out with after hours second quarter 2024 financial results, and that's pretty much it. All right. And then last but not least, GOVX. GOVX, where are you? All the way down here. So currently trading at $3.78 a share. I don't think there was a play for this. No, there was not. So we had Sing and SPRC. That was it. That was the only two trades that I did, and because that was the only ones that broke through. So right now, GOVX, I have a line. Right now, support is at 370. So 370 here is holding currently as support. And then you have the VWAP at $3.90 or so. So right now, 386, get a VWAP roll, and then have a $4 whole shuffle line. And then you got that big resistance line at 425, which you can see here. Pre-market high was up to about 424, and then it started to get wrecked down. 423 to be exact, double top there. All right, market's going to open up in about 15 seconds. NQ, what type of day today is NQ? Well, we came out with that 830 PR headline, and we are spiking on up right now. But at market opening, I do think we got short window the first 5 minutes for the reversal. So let's see how far it gets up to the high there or not, another new high there or not. So this deviation 2 line needs to crack and start heading back down to, some reality. But these past few days on NQ, man, it's been staying above this overbought territory, which is kind of scary how it keeps pushing. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and pull up Sing right now. I apologize about the little screen share earlier this morning. This Webull that I use for charting had some new updates, so I installed it. And I can't, for some reason, it just won't budge. And so it's like, it was blocking. See that? It's just been blocking my screen. I can't seem to move it for some reason. It won't let me drag to my other screen. So it's a little bit of pain in the ASS right now, but I'm gonna have to deal with it after market's done. So anyways, once again, at market opening, wait for the confirmation. Don't get faked out on these wicks, because at market opening it tends to do that as well. So right now, what's going on with Sing? Sing is trying to do the VWAP roll here. Sing, we're watching for VWAP roll and make sure 440 candle break confirmation confirms. So right now, no go. We're waiting for the confirmation. This is probably the best looking one at the moment, unless something else starts popping up. We'll see what the chat room says here in the morning. TLX, TLS, GWH, ARAY, TNX, ARAY, SIGA, NKLA, TPST, SIGA, DJT, ARAY, FLY, SPRC, CLBT, ARAY, CLBT, ARAY, Riley, ARAY, 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 CLBT. And keep making new high of the day right now, and right now we're waiting for Sing. Remember, this is on SSR, up 134%. Could be a 10% runner if it successfully breaks that 440 mark. We do have an all pull at 513 showing. Just we have now 440 testing, 15 seconds to close above 440. I would probably wait for the next candle, unless this thing it's testing the waters. Next candle should close above 440. That is the case, and then we'll go. But right now it's not closing above 440 yet. Okay, here we go. Next candle needs to push now. 513 up pull. 519 up pull. Right now above all indicators, needs to hold above 440. I do not want to see this thing go below 432 or 428. Is that the line? Yeah, I don't want to see this. Right now, the higher the better, right? 440 is support at the moment. So if you want to be tight with it, make sure 440 does hold. We need to get the momentum rolling here because there's no other stocks right now getting that momentum. So this has got to be the number one watch right now, but number one watch and play at the moment here. The 10 EMA starts need to crawl above the VWAP. That's the next bullish indication there. Okay, starting to crawl up now a little bit. We got to get that new high of day shot out by Holly. CING, there it is. 470s. Okay, so locking some in along the way. 470 3 line there is going to be the next line we got to get through, and then $5. UPST. Got a $5.30 up, Paul. Just FYI, 473 is a candle break line. It needs to start closing above that line next. And then it's $5, obviously. TITN. SEDG. CRK. GNPX. TITN. TITN. BTDR. SMR. LGBN. 536 up, Paul. LS. Y. Win. Edit. 541 up, Paul. 473 needs to close here as a new support. Right now, not a single red candle on the Heikin Ashi. Right now, again, as always, we always do this every single morning. The first 10 minutes, we want to continue to see that nice flow, but when you start seeing some dojis, then you need to start, getting ready for a little pullback or a different setup here. Right now, we're getting a doji right now. Right now, flashing doji at the moment. It's trying to make a decision. It's got about 25 seconds until the next candle, so it's going to be very crucial here. So now you have to kind of lean forward here to see what's going to happen. The same thing every single day. Every single day it's the same thing. The first 10 to 20 minutes or so, you start to look for that next decision candle before that reversal here. So that's why I want to make sure we lock in on the first target levels and then set the stop, making sure we don't give the gains back. That's how it should be. Now we got a flat top right now showing unless it got another 50 seconds. 10 EMA is at 448. So VWAP is where it perfectly balanced last time. So 437 would be probably the lowest point. You want to see that thing not go below. So 436 prints, I would be out. I know everybody should be green on this trade. At the moment, like I said, I don't really like this doji right here in the flat top. It looks like it needs to show, bounce soon. But let's zoom in here real quick on CING. Starts pressing. It prints 436. I mean, it's already got a. The last area 436 cannot print that. Let me see. Yes, very. CRK. GCTS. ALGS. So you see that right there? Previous candle wick came down to the VWAP. That was at 437. So when I say 436, you don't want to see that print because it's going to be a lower low from the lower high right now. The only thing is the reason why, as long as that does not hit 436, is because we can still see a 10 EMA flag here happening. So when that doji happens, yeah, expect that pullback down to like the 10 or VWAP in this case, and look for that setup here for another new high of the day. We still have a 552 now up pulp. Yeah, GOVX seems to be still cooking. Where, let me pull that one up real quick. Yeah, it sort of bounced off the 500 EMA there on that one. SPRC is completely dead below all indicators, still ranked below the 10 EMA. That's the one that you really want to stay away from. Same thing with AISP, dead in the water. GOVX, I mean, I like the 370 line, and now we got a 409. I'm not a huge fan of GOVX right now, but it's a good bounce off the 500 EMA. I'm gonna move on to a different stock once Sing is dead. Right now, Sing is still holding pretty good here as long as 436 does not print. So you have to be very specific with these levels, guys. You can't just guess and be like, well, I think this is going to be okay here. I mean, like, just look at the previous candles, look at the history. 552 up hold still. I do want to see $5 hit. The only thing is now we need to start breaking out of this line here.
SG, edit, UANY, UANY.
470s again. So good thing is that, you know, we are trying to get back above. We're testing that 473 line. This is the line that we need to pierce, guys. So if you decide to get back in at the same area here at $4.40, that was your re-entry support level if you're like a support buyer. And then now probably some selling at 473, and then now you want to see 473 bust through open to the new high of the day. So you should probably hear Holly's. That's what you want to hear seen. CING. Here we go. Another new high of the day. Generally speaking, almost brought up $5. Now $5 breaks, 552 up hold. Stock's up now 170%. I think they want that 200%. However, there's a $5 resistance. That's the strongest resistance penny stocks. $5 breaks. That's going to lead to nice dollar runs.
BNGO.
510 new high of the day. It's going to be a little bit of wiki into $5. So nothing wrong with locking something into 5 and then see $5 holes and then start another position. Still has 30% till 200% to go. As price continues to move on up and rise 10 EMA, always check where the 10 EMA is at. What price is 10 EMA at? All the way down to 464. Okay. So kind of do a little reality check. Is it worth, you know, holding from 5 still and it drops all the way down to 464 again? You know, you're okay with dropping 40 cents down again like that, right? It's better to sell into $5 and then what? Look for that, you know, some shares that you let go of and then rebuy back in at the 10 EMA with a tight stop, all right? Rotate your shares, right? Like kind of in and out. Like that's what day trading is. Day trading is not buy and hold and sell later, you know, when it's nice and sunny. You know, that's not what we do here. We're constantly pressing these buttons in and out. Now you don't have to be a crazy scalper at the same time, you know, but you have to understand that these trades are anywhere from a few seconds to a few minutes. And so it's not like, well, let's just buy here now and yeah, let me wake up in 8 hours later, like unless you're trying to swing trade. But you know, these companies are not like good to swing, guys. I mean, you know, they're very risky for holding. You know, these are day trading stocks. You have to understand that. If you look at the company itself, like CING, they don't have a lot of cash. I mean, man, they're not solid companies. You know, put your money on these other, you know, big, you know, I mean, everyone should at this point have like an index fund. Like you should be investing into those long terms, not, you know, and have some sort of security and not to relying all of it all in day trading. So day trading is for me, like I look at it as like, you know, it's my, I mean, I enjoy it. I love it. You know, it produces, you know, a nice side income, you know, but I mean, if you're a full-time trader, I mean, this could be making a living, obviously. I'm probably not relying on day trading at this point in my life as like I need to pay my bills at this point, right? Like I'm not like, okay, I gotta make $1,000 a day so I can pay my bill tomorrow. Like that's not where it's at. So that's the same thing for you guys. Some of you guys that are new, you shouldn't be doing that because most likely what's gonna happen is you're gonna have so much pressure that you're just not gonna trade properly. Look at all the guys that are killing it. The guys that are killing it, they have other sources of income. They have other cash flows coming in, so they're not worried about what's going to happen tomorrow. That, I mean, it's facts, guys. A lot of people don't share this, but you know, if you look at all the guys, that's why the guys that already have money. And I'm not saying that you need to have money to make to kill it in day trading. Sometimes you don't even need to have a lot of money, but you have to start somewhere, right? And risk only the ones that you can afford to lose. So make sure you guys are not throwing out all in and being like, oh my gosh, let's go home, or go all in or go home, you know. 568 still up pulse showing here. We got 568. That is a up pulse line. It is struggling right now to obviously break that 473 still. If you actually go back, look at it, is there a full body technically on the 1 minute chart above 473? No, we do not have a single full body that closed above 473. Okay, it's a fast mover. Yes, we got even up towards 510 as a high today, but there's not, they can't sustain over 1 minute. That's the problem here, right? So once we are able to close 473 within 1 minute, great. Then I think we could see this thing going all the way up to apparently now 568 up pulp. Okay, so 568 up pulp now on Sing.
EWCZ. CDLX.
Look at how far. Pay attention to what the lowest EMA was earlier.
Here. TPST. DGL.
This Sing, it's been the lowest it's been going down since it's been between the 50 and the 89 EMA. So not quite exactly at the 50 EMA, but somewhere between the 50 and the 89 has been where the dips have been happening. You can just see that clearly by looking at the history. Okay. Now, so somewhere in between that area cracks, you don't need to be looking at the 200 EMA. This thing, once that area cracks, just set in mind that this is going to go all the way down to 500 EMA at one point. Okay. Right now, we've got two dojis right now, being very indecisive, trying to make the third candle now to see if there's going to be a bounce here or not. This is going to be the important candle here to go, because we don't want to keep wasting time building out, getting stuck between 473 and this 10 EMA here. It's getting tight. We got to go. Volume needs to show up here, otherwise we're going to get a pullback. Wick, rejection, wick, not even 473, testing 473 now. Now we got to push. We got 30 seconds now on this candle. This gets one more wick again, I think the chances are going to decrease. We need to start pushing now. Let's see the bid. Nope. Still fluctuating back and forth. It's showing weakness. It's got to go soon. So why am I saying this? Because you want to start tapping in the moment we start seeing that nice full body here. It's got only 5 seconds left. That's not enough time. You have to wait for the next candle now. Okay, there's another candle opening up. Still holding above 10 EMA, but I want that 473. So when you start seeing so many rejections, you clearly know this is a lot of resistance. So a lot of people that got in here, right, or anywhere nearby this area, let's say you did buy in 473 without a confirmation, a lot of people don't have a stop. So when they're just watching this, hoping that's going to break, they don't have a stop. Let's say this thing gets rejected and gets dumped. Now you're thinking about getting stopped out or, you know, selling off by the time it's, you know, all the way down there, and you don't want that. So every time you go in, okay, what is the stop level? What's the support level that it needs to hold? And is that okay with me? You're like, you have to ask yourself, okay, am I okay with losing 20, 30 cents on this trade? If you are, then good, go for it. NQ's nonstop. Still, this is just past few days, man. It's the same thing. It's a tough time for a lot of the shorts right now because the bulls are constantly, ramming it up, staying above that overbought territory. Because they're probably thinking, okay, it's gonna drop, it's gonna drop, it's gonna drop, it's gonna have to drop, but it's just continued trending up. So right now, I would take a step back here. I would wait until the 473 really gets that confirmation. Everything else is really dead. Like AISP is low, all indicators. GOVX is coming down again to the 500 EMA. Like I said, I just don't like that one. Got to reject that the 409 there. Line there, 409, 410. SPCB is just downtrending unless I'm missing something. We got VSME top second gainer. I looked at it earlier and put it in the watch list because it just didn't look that appealing to me, but let me double check. Yeah, it's down.
SDI.
Can't even get back above the 200, 500 EMA. It's ridiculous. That's not something that you want to waste your time wasting your mental capital on.
Double.
We got an array, it's like a 93 million float. Yeah, just best to just wait for Seam to either, break this 473 or crashes and burns, and then we move on to a different stock. But
ST. NBT. ALBT. 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 ALBT.
see that. So 473 is that's just too much resistance. I think I mentioned to you about this line here earlier. The 436 you don't want to see. That was over here last time here, came down to this wick down. So technically overall, this 440 is your support from our previous entry. So body needs, as long as it holds, you are fine. But look at the volume too right now. It's slowly fading here. So this 440 is last bounce point area again. And it's cracking. It's getting stopped out now. So this is what I'm talking about. Now people are going to start panicking. This is exactly when you start realizing 473 is too much resistance, taking too long. That's when you got to snap and be like, all right, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So that's why when you did decide to chip in some and just you have to really watch for these areas, guys. This is where a lot of traders just they did a good job, let's say earlier here, but then they just don't know when to stop. They get greedy and they just keep going and these are warning signals and you gotta have to take seriously and have that stop. And when it stops hit, you're good now. You're out instead of now deciding, oh no, I can't take this loss. Maybe it will bounce up here. Now, what did we say? This one did go down between the 50 and the 89 EMA. Here we are. So if this 89 starts cracking, then yeah, I think there's no need. There's no business for us to even consider buying any of these other EMAs unless it goes all the way down to the lowest EMA. So this is the scary thing about these type of stock when people don't understand, looking at the history, they're willing to just keep on buying on every indication in EMAs. That's not wise. See, the thing is that it's all about probability. The probability of this, moving back up on the bullish side is significantly low now. So now shorts are having their fun. Now look at the 10 EMA starting to crawl to about to cross that 50 EMA. What is that? It's going to be a death cross. So death cross happens. This thing is going to plunge. So obviously right now, no, nothing. I have nothing right now on any trades. Just simply watching this. There's another line at the 385. Let's see what that line was. Okay, sort of like earlier, a big breakout point here, and then a support level here as well. Now this is the somewhere between the body overall and then wick could come down towards that 200 EMA around 355 or so. 356. Okay, NQ just keeps on giving more gains. Non-stop. I mean, I'm just not a huge personal fan when this is not normal. I mean, this is unusual. We don't really always see being up this much. I mean, right now the market's just been pretty crazy this month. It's been very crazy this month, especially for futures. It's been seeing some very, very volatile moves. It's just you probably haven't. I mean, I haven't been in the futures market for years, like small caps, but I could tell you that the guys that have the experience too, they haven't seen anything like it in years. So it's crazy. I mean, I would say at this point, just accept that, you know what, this is bull's paradise. I mean, green candlesticks nonstop. You might have like 3 to 5 red candlesticks. Try to avoid those and enjoy the ride at the moment here. Sort of like the theme.
GNLN. TXG.
So with all that being said, well, Dave, what are you looking at next? What am I looking at next? I'm actually just waiting to see if Sing's gonna get a death cross or if it's gonna avoid here and bounce off the 89. So because this is a #1 gainer, it's a #1 leader technically in volume if we delete SPRC, because SPRC is a micro penny, right? The sub penny stock, this is my favorite range price, #1 gainer, has news, 41 million in volume, low flow.
Yeah.
Overall, this is one of those names where you just don't want to sleep and look for those bounce opportunities, which like I said, I think this 89, it's got a bounce here. This cracks. I would say get it all the way down to the low threes. So right now, 10 EMA kissing the 50 EMA, didn't cross yet. So now the bulls are trying to really avoid this. But the question is, can they really ride this back above that 10 EMA? Not. So now it's testing 10 EMA, so on the way up. So that's already been bearish, trying to do a bullish move here. But I think it's just getting tough. Because if you look at the volume, look at the volume bars too. It's just been slowly decreasing. And I don't blame people because the smart cookies that bought in like us here early, we've already maximized here. This was sort of like, a second round market opening, a nice little warm-up trade here, so to speak, for those that did not participate in the pre-market. The goodies happened, the early bird gets the worm. I mean, that's just how it is. If you're not willing to sacrifice, to get up early, I mean, just like think about the good old Black Friday days before, the real Black Friday when people lined up early in the morning, like at Best Buy and Fry's Electronics. I remember those days when I was like in high school. Yeah. And then nowadays, now it's just all Cyber Mondays. No one gives a crap about the getting lined up saying 10 cent stuff. That's I remember the days when you're freezing cold. I used to live in Atlanta, Georgia, and like you're just like got the little thick jackets and waiting in line trying to get that deal. Anyways, VSME worth watching? Let's see. Let me pull it up. So, everybody understands overall what's been happening this week, right? With the markets and all. So just follow along, adjust, adapt.
TFG.
and that's it. Don't be confused.
LGBF. PPTA.
Yeah, so VSME is testing VWAP right now. VSME testing VWAP. Again, this one doesn't have any news. Let me see if this is like a really
ALXO. HNST.
man.
DGLY. DGLY.
Just be careful with those names.
DGLY. 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 SIM.
Like VSME, for example.
MMAT.
Why do we need to be careful, Dave? Well, you gotta just understand, like, this is not a USA company. This is a Hong Kong advertising agency company with no news. So I'm just saying, like, it's already traded 33 million volume on something like this, and you know the VWAP roll could work out. You could just get in and get out quickly, but just all I'm saying is make sure you have a tight stop. Because these dumps are brutal. Like I said, any Chinese or Israel names, yes, if you time them right, you can get in early and pop it up nicely. But also, once the pop is done and it's getting rejected at these resistance lines, the dump's gonna. I mean, it has another probably. It's gonna potentially make another lower low. Like it's gonna make another new low of the day if this VWAP doesn't happen. The way I see it on VSME, because it's still up 65%. All these guys that are short sellers, they're gonna jump in on this. They probably already jumped in at the VWAP there. They want to see this thing going down below $1. I bet we'll have to revisit it in an hour or two, and I'll tell you probably below $1 when it does get rejected at the VWAP here. Now, if the VWAP does break out here, then you got a shot up for another little move up. But okay, I think NQ is kind of reaching its peak here soon. This is pretty insane. Just Empire State Building, top floor here. I think it's time to. I mean, the last line I have is 19,484, but that's a big line before it goes all the way up there. But VSME selling starts spiking 75 to 125 at 4 p.m. Eastern time, maybe buyback or some insider stop. You know, yeah, it's just a little bit slower for the small caps this week, so we already know that. I think that NQ is going to try to come up towards the next line. There is going to be a big resistance line. Also, if you flip it on the 1 minute chart, NQ, it is approaching the deviation 2 line. So, as well as a 15-minute deviation 1 line. So this is definitely going to be some next level resistance. You know, it could probably pull back a little bit from it, but not guaranteeing that that's it, because it's been breaking above a lot of resistance levels. So might do a small pullback and then keep on pushing on up.
OGI.
I would look at ARAY actually. It's got a decent look. ARAY. It's setting up. It's got a decent look. I just ran into it again.
Oh, yeah.
Should have pulled it up on my charts a little bit earlier. ARAY. So let me pull it up real quick. I'm just leaving seeing because seeing, I mean, great volume, low flow. It's just one of those names you just kind of have to be a bit patient. The 89 EMA is that hero EMA looks like. So seeing 89 EMA bounce, still got the sauce, but just keep your eyes on it. Seeing is now testing VWAP. It's got to get the VWAP roll here, and then a 521 up pull. I do think Array could be a potential candidate, but I don't like this 219, 220 level of resistance, meaning, yes, it still has another mark to make new high of the day, but that's only like,
OM.
I mean, if you want to go for the quick 10-cent scalp, you can.
No.
There's a 200 in the daily at 219. So sometimes like you have to kind of understand if it's worth going for it. Sometimes it may not be. I'm just gonna mention it for those that might be watching that area. All right, here's that Empire State Building, top floor. Couldn't reach that mark there, and rejection near that line, and it's getting a major pullback now. Like I said, it was hitting 1 minute deviation, 2 line, 15-minute deviation, 1 line. That's a big resistance before pullback line area there. So like I said, that's an area you got to watch out.
ARAY. ARAY. ETA.
ARY, there's a new high of the day.
ARAY.
They'll try to take it up towards that 220. If that breaks, you got a 247 uphold.
ALXO.
I'm not in this, but I'm just for anybody that decided to take this, it was a good look. So look, just by looking at the chart right away, you just picture it right there. The setup that is, right? It's just been holding that 1025 EMA into market opening spike, pulled back down 1025. That's healthy. Healthy look. And then it broke out of this triangle here. Not like my favorite names. Like I said, it's only got up towards 220. There's another little resistance line. That's why you always want to go back and look at the daily chart and see, okay, where is the next big resistance line? So if you're getting in at 215 and there's a 219, 220 big resistance, like you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to get out here soon before it potentially rejects.
Done.
249 uphold.
MKDW. CDLX. TPST. ALXO. Sino. BPAB. EVS. TXG.
Just a quick pop back down. So overall, still holding out that higher low trend line there.
A.
Yeah, let me know or let the team know as well if you see any stocks kind of setting up right now. I'm just leaving ARAY because not many options right now.
OM.
So I've been saying this earlier this week. You kind of want to be here a little bit early in the pre-market. I know sometimes it's hit or miss in pre-market, like it might not get a big run, but there is always one big runner in pre-market. So you generally want to be kind of be here, even though it might be slow. The best thing to do is just show up. Showing up is the very first step. If you're not even showing up, then I mean, you're not even taking that first step. And thus Farad to TPST. Okay, let's pull up TPST real quick. See if there's any merit there. TPST. Tempest Therapeutics. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those names that is right at market openings, like algos just kicked in, buyers came in and just started running on up.
Here,
I mean, made a new high day. Once again, this is probably not the stock for longing now. It's probably attracting shorts at this point on TPST. It's getting so overbought. There is a 203 uphold, but that is a big. I would wait till it goes up near $2 before the drop happens, or there's 183 double top. So let's pull up TPSC. Yeah, 203 uphold after 183 break. So
INTA,
there's a line. I don't see it yet.
TXG,
I just know it's inflated right now, so I'm not gonna chase that. It's now the top second gainer, traded 14 million volume, up 50%.
U, Cyto. SBCAB, Doug,
I think shorts are gonna try to start coming in on TPST. Not now. They're setting up here right now still. So there's a 207 uphold. The momentum is still there on TPST, 207 uphold.
GDRX, SIGA, TXG, Cyto,
And Key's finally getting a little bit of pullback here and there.
EBS, GANX, 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 DOCN, HNST, TOMC, TOMC, HUMA, TOMC, 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 FLNC, TPST,
Okay, TPSG, another new high of the day. You got a 209 uphold if you're playing this.
MIG, SMTC, GANX, UPST, U, Sphere, WW, Sphere, OGIS, BCAB, Bill, UPC, OM, TXG, BBS, ASAN, ADPT, HNST, HUMA, SGML, AMSC, BCAB, ATAC, Bill, DNUT, TXG, NVRO, HEAL, STRSAN, CDLX, DOCLGI, MULN, GANX, ADPT, PTLO, AHRAMT, MMAT, ACMR, UPST, TPST, STRO, FIBN, OM, STRO, TK, GAMB, GAMB, Riley, CLRB, ATAC, UPC, SPRY, DUN, CGC, CAMT, AHR, WW, TK, OM, TANX, TK, BBS, ADPT, AHR, SGML, 4, RN, Bueno, AQST, Riley, SIGA, ACB, CPTLO, SMTC, ATAC, PPTA, TN, ASTL, field, IMTA, GANX,
All right, guys. Slow at the moment.
CAMT,
I do want to just point out Sing is really trying on the VWAP roll. So, you know, 536 up pull. Now we're back above all indicators. So we just can't screw up going back below 440 now.
DOL,
So
ASTL,
seeing back above 440 now, support again, resistance line again, 473, big resistance line. Keep in mind that it needs to break solid. Okay, so that's just what I think today's just going to be right now based on this pace. Because overall broad market is very up and nice, and so the small caps right now is not getting all that much attention and volume as it could if, say, the market was overall kind of red and small caps are performing a little bit more attention, more eyes, more volume, more activity.
HUMA, MMAT, REBN, DOL, AQST, DGLY, TPST, SGML, Here. INTA. CAMT. GAMB. TOCN. U. Field. SGML. ADPT. BCAB. Dub. BSCO. 4. SQSB. SQSP. 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 Right. SQSP. SQSP. CRK. SQSP.
Yeah. Such a very,
Yes.
I mean, the last thing was TPST. It's coming up towards that up halt line there on TPST.
INTA. Ta. SMTC. BBS. Brothers. OCN. BCAB. SPWH. ADPT. Riley. AQST. STRO. Mary. CABA. GANX. OGI. SGML.
Hmm.
Ta. ENBT. SMTC.
Yeah, TPST is about $2 right now, so you can keep an eye on that one here to see if it's gonna try to hold on up or not.
POWI. CABA. AQST. DPTA. Quick, go. SGML. ALGT. CRK. RNI. PSNL. ASTPTA. DMUT. BCAB. NRT1. MMH10. Yes. Done. Wayne. WWI. C. Dole. POWI. POWI.
You got 242 up haul on TPST.
LUNR. PEPG. INTA. HRTG. Wait on. CLRB. SIGA. GFS. HRTG. EBS. RRK. ALGT. GRPN. ACDC. ACMR. POWY. Very. Quid. SG. ASTL. SIGA. GOGO. CRK. WNR. PFLT. ACMR. EBS. PLC. SG. CCCC. GDRX. At PEPG. AQST. GFS. DOL. DOCN.
Okay, NQ is approaching another near high of the day. This makes a lower high. It's going to be another rejection. So be on the lookout here. NQ trying to get back up towards that high of the day there, which is going to be like 19,483 line.
Very. WW. GRPN. DNVT. ACDC. BNGO. At. SQSP. 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 SG. CCCC. KNTK. SVDG. BRAD. TPST. UAMY. Brothers. Dole. U.
Right now, TPST is the king runner. CING below VWAP, VSME below VWAP, GOBX below VWAP. So TPST is the one right now, just riding the 10 EMA, nice higher lows and higher highs. So you know, right now it's a little slow and boring. So sometimes the best trade is no trade and have to sit on your hands and be be patient for the next last setup for 11 a.m. rip or dip looks. I think man, I was hoping Singh would try to break that 473 and not get a death cross, but here we go on Singh, and he's got a death cross, so I think that's a tough one today right now. The way it's been moving, it's trading sort of not the way that I want to see it go. So was my favorite candidate for another play, but I'm just gonna have to sit on my hands for now since TPST is gaining that attraction. So at this point, TPST stock is up 80%. You have an up pulse showing at 247, so you could look forward to seeing if it's going to do a 100% run. Today, I only traded two stocks, CING and SPRC. So sometimes that's just all we might get, and I'm going to have to accept that. Okay, so we just made a new high of day on AQ, and anytime it makes a higher high, traders are going to go ahead and lock in something there as well. But we are going to be still probably pulling back down near the 14 EMA. We'll see.
SQSP, GoGo, NBRO. CPLX, LM and DCA until DNET, 4,
Still bouncing on up.
BSC, TWST, RIDE. SG, SUPB, TPBG, CRK, LUNR, U, STRO, ARRs, GFS, AQST, SSROSP, NCZ, MMAT, GoGo. So. RR. KNTK. IAS, GRPN, TWST.
All right, guys, we're gonna take a quick 10-minute stretch break and look for some 11 a.m. ripper dip setup. So 10-minute stretch break. We are back. All right. Alrighty, guys. So I am back, and we have the last 20 minutes here till 11 a.m. rubber dip time. So things got really slow. So that's why I'm not really saying much, is because there's just not much opportunities left. So I'm gonna type out the ones that I think's got the best shot for 11 a.m. rubber dip time. So we got 20 minutes till 11 a.m. rubber dip time. Worth watching. WW stands for worth watching, by the way. I think TPST at 208 candle break. Man, see, I don't think CING is gonna be the ripper. It's just so below a lot of these indicators. I think maybe VSME could be okay at that one. This is 115 VWAP. It's got a 117 VWAP, so those are my top two that I would watch. So I mean, CING could bounce here off the 200 and do a little bounce up towards VWAP, but again, it's gonna need to re-break 440 and then the 473. So it's got some ways to go again, unless volume really just magically kicks in. So I think 208 line I would watch here very closely on TPST.
SDGR, chart. Edit.
And then I think that's gonna be it for me personally. So
NTLA. ASTL. NCNO. IMTA. Web.
NQ is just like not cracking. It's hovering at this deviation 2 line constantly. Every candle just keeps staying at this higher low. So yeah, I mean, just pay attention to the Higinashi Bobby. It's just we're waiting for obviously a reversal, but as long as it's still making higher lows and higher highs, I mean, it's going to continue the thing right now. So back down to a little bit of this line here, support. Be on the lookout for that. It's still holding 19,484.
LUNR. Edit. BYBT. ASTL. TSL. ATAC. Turn. ABL. MITK. IVP. EBA. STEP. SEDG. ACDC. DH. Edit. Bobbin. ADT. GRPM. TGI. Very. Web. CNTA. IAS. CNTA. TNDM. NTLA. APRME. DK. IRS. IVBT. ACDC. TXG. IVBT. MITK. Turn. STEM. NRDY.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up VSME because it's starting to get a VWAP roll at that 117. So I'm gonna pull it up real quick here for you guys. VSME is now that top second gainer just surpassed PST. It's gonna need the VWAP roll here, just FYI.
Back, edit. RBLB. TSVT, GAMB, GAMB. BBS, GAMB, GAMB, TGI. BSTM, 4. QNCX. DOM. ONDS, SGMT. TXG, CLRB, PRME Brothers. PDCO, STEM. SDGR, CHIR, NRDY. WIN, TWST, GRPN, MITK, and SEDG, DK. IMTA, DH, TOWIGAMB, AVEL, DED, TSVT, BBS, WEM, R, ASTL, PTV, ACDC, TXG, RMTI, MKDW, TGI, STEM, BAT, CRSR, BIGC, ALGS, ATEC, NRDY, 4, BIGC, FAR, BCABYT, SVTG, GOOS, I, IAS, NBRO, TSVT, INTA, SDGR, INTA, MXL, UTI, OUST, BBS, HRTG, ASTL, PRME, EYPT, Brothers, MRSN, GRPN, TGI, MRSN, PTV, EDA, STRO, POWI, WBTI, TNDM, MKDW, BMBL, INTA, Brothers, OKOO, TGI, STROBN, ONDS, SWIM, MRSN, UANY, STEM, GPAT, UANY, ODP, ODP, CDLX, NBRO, BMBL.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day here. It's just, I'm sorry, there's just nothing else for me at this point, and for you guys as well. I mean, you have the SME, they could wait for the VWAP roll. I think CING is going to be tough. VWAP roll and then at 473. I think the opportunity is just getting less and less at this point. So TPST is about to do a death cross. So be on the lookout for that. It's still holding that 15 VWAP, but the longer it does not bounce, it's going to get the death cross and it's going to eventually get a fat drop. So just be on the lookout for that. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Happy Thursday, everybody. And let's kill it tomorrow. Fast Money Friday, last trading day of the week. So looking forward to it. So take care, everybody, and God bless you all.